Hey guys, before we jump into this, I just want to say thank you to Sunday for sponsoring today's video. More on that here in a minute. Hey fellers, welcome back to Vice Grip Lodge. Today is a monumental day for Vice Grip Garage and the shop build here. I am finally, for the first time in my life, going to have heat and air conditioning. Now let me clarify, guys had heat before. All the way back to the early days out on the farm, but it's always been provided by these lag burners. They're loud, they're stinky, you have a terrible headache at the end of the day, and they don't do very good, right? We're actually going to be putting in proper HVAC. It's going to be electric. 2 5-ton units are going to be going in the shop here, and Michael Kovac from Kovac Mechanical and his team, they're out here. They normally cover like the Atlanta, Georgia area, but he watches the show and was watching the shop build, and he said, look, I got a line on some good units at a good price, and I think I can help you out. And they've been great. They came up here, walked through this, kind of listened to what my thoughts were, designed everything, had all the socks custom made and everything, and got the units up here. And today they're finally going to be putting that in, but let me show you what I'm thinking here. Okay, first of all, I had Service Right Electric come back and put these bigger fans in. 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess there's 6 of them. They're more of a commercial fan, and they're multi-speed, and they can go forward and backwards. You know what I mean? My other fans would only go the one direction, so it was just blowing cool air down. They were more so, I think they were residential fans just for cooling. But with these, we could spin them backwards in winter mode because I want to be bringing that heat down, right? Heat rises. And then my thought on the ductwork is to run it right down the center of the building, all the way down the center. And then the fans will help bring that heat and push it down. And then we can maybe experiment flipping it in the summer for the air conditioning. And then here's how the units are gonna go. Gonna have to excuse my mess here, fellers. It's been really busy. But this is the halfway point, right, of the shop. This is where the old shop ends and the new shop takes off. So we know that they're equal in distance on both sides. So we're gonna have 2 5-ton units out here. One's gonna come in and feed this way, and the other one's gonna come in and feed back this way. And the hope is I'll only have to run 1 unit most of the time, because this side is going to be mainly storage and stuff like that. And someday I hope to get kind of a foldable wall or something that a guy can run all the way across here and kind of separate the 2 buildings, so I only have to heat and cool one side of it. Reason being there, if you're wondering, well, how is that going to work, or why even try to separate the 2, is a lot of people don't think about or don't understand the cost of doing business where we're at today. And not that you need to, that's my issue completely. But when you think about buying all these automobiles, the flights, the food, the motel, the car rentals, the parts, the insurances, the cost of business today is astronomical from where we were back in my 2-car garage. And I'm not complaining by any means, and I am absolutely completely blessed, but what I'm saying is we got to be smart, right? And utilities, they're going to go up tremendously, especially running, I guess it's like 4 heat pumps now or something. Each has 2 units here. So I want to be able to try run just 1 unit, you know, as minimal as possible. This isn't going to be like, hey, it's 70 degrees year round in here. It's just, you know, can we take the edge off? If it's cold, can we make it 50, 55? If it's super hot, can we make it 75, 80? You know what I mean? And I was able to sit down and pencil this out. And if you think about the hours and even days that I spent running back to the house and cooling down and changing shirts and trying to keep myself from passing out, or days that it's so cold that your warming your hands up every 5 minutes and then working, or you're trying to get stuff inside instead of working on it outside, and then you get inside and it's even colder in here. So it's like, when you factor in how much more productive we can be having a heated and cooled area, it'll eventually pay for itself if we're really smart on how we use the equipment, right? We can't just set the thermostat to 70 and let it rip. So this is going to be awesome. First time ever having actual heat, and especially air, which is something you just have to have in this house, I guess. I wish I would have insulated a little bit more, but we can always come back and foam this thing in the future once we get these units in. This is the electrical here. All this conduit runs up into that nice conduit bank that Service Right did that goes down to the new service. And that's also why we put such a big service panel on the building, is we figured we were probably going to end up doing something like this. So I'll run you outside and we'll look at the units and then where these are going to be sitting. Also had these lights put in along the walls to help with working on the lift over here. I had some old fluorescent ones, but to put drivers in those and keep up with bulbs, it was a lot cheaper to buy these, you know, chicken to main LED ones, and they work pretty good. They're a soft white. But over here in the panel, did he already put it in? Yeah. So right here, these are already ready to rock. These guys did such great work. But so electric's pretty much here. Once they tie it in outside, boom, ready to go. Sunday is an annual subscription that provides all of the lawn care products you need, from weed control to fertilizer to even seed, all based on your region, climate, soil, and, well, your yard. They can even use satellite data, or you could send them a soil sample from your yard. They'll analyze it and further customize your plan. Sunday ships directly to your door. All you have to do is spend 10 to 15 minutes putting it on, sit back and watch your yard turn green. It's that easy. Let me show you how this works. Type in your address and in seconds, it'll literally customize a lawn plan for you. That easy. Once you've selected your customized lawn care plan, it'll show up at your house. Then all you have to do is just attach to the ready-to-use nutrient pouches, apply, sit back and watch your yard grow. Now throughout the year, your customized lawn care products are going to be shipped directly to you, and you just keep applying it. It's that easy. And that's one of the reasons I personally love Sunday, is I don't have time to go through the big box stores for an hour walking up and down aisles and ultimately pick up a bunch of product. I don't even know what's in it, or if it's going to work, or if it works in my area. It's a waste of money. Sunday takes all of the guesswork out for you. They're going to send you exactly what you need, and it's that simple. To get started, go over to getsunday.com/Vice-Grip Lodge now and get 20% off your customized lawn care plan with Vice-Grip 20. Thanks once again to Sunday for sponsoring today's video. Now let's finish up this HVAC system. These are the units here. They're Goodman's. Look at these big old boys. 5 tons. And he did all the math, and I guess these are gonna make it work. Hello? No one home. These are gonna make do, and they got a bunch of stuff here they're getting off the vans, but these will be going behind the building. It's actually already got their first snowstorm in Tennessee, if you can believe that or not. Let's run around back. I'll show you where these are going. Yet another mess. Don't judge me, okay? Need to get one of them Connex trailers or something, or at least something for these tires and wheels. Oh, I've been looking for these. Yeah, HP 4000s. Anywho's, back down here. Got the John Deere back here. We'll probably use this to move some rock, gravel, and dirt. So we got to get these, I think they call them pedestals, 38 by 70 by 3. Leveled out in here, but here's the disconnects for the 2 units, and then Daniel put a outlet out here as well, so you can kind of see, well, where the mess isn't. Basically, there'll be a unit here, and that's going to run up and then in up there. So on the inside it'll be nice and clean. the duct is going to come up and then go in up by the window. And that's where one unit will sit there. And this is that side I hope not to have to run very much. And then this side, I'm going to sit somewhere-ish in here. Basically probably the same distance from this gutter, which is the halfway point, over to there. So probably, I don't know, guessing there-ish. And then down into this unit, and then they'll do their thing with the lightning and the beep boops and whatnot. Yeah, so they were just discussing, they're going to be coming in over here and over here-ish, and then we're putting the returns down low. Not quite sure how that's going to work yet, but it's going to be lower, so a guy could just walk right up, change the filter here on both units. So there'll probably be one on either side, and that way I'm not having to climb ladders and do all that stuff either. It'll be nice to just pop it in right here. And then our security system in the house, we pay for interactive monitoring. So we have water sensors, flood sensors, temp sensors. Our CO2s and fire alarms are all monitored. We have a bunch of stuff like that, and it's all interactive. We can see it on our phone. I ran a Cat 5 burial to the home with a booster, and we're going to be putting in a little data rack over here. But I'm going to tie in, basically create a separate network here in the shop, and we're going to use Nest thermostats, and then I can tie that into the network here, send it over to the house. That way it's on the same network, and we'll tie in the thermostats and devices over here. So it sounds like a lot, and why? Well, I'm on the road 358 days a year. Realistically, probably 300. I mean, a lot. So it's huge for me to be able to monitor the shop temperature when I'm gone. Example, we broke a pipe froze. In fact, I'll show you here in a second. Pipe broke and in the shop and flooded the shop again last week. It got so cold here, which is pretty crazy for Tennessee. Now, if I hadn't have been home and heard that, I just pulled in, I was getting ready to leave, and I heard the water rushing, it would have been really, really, really bad. The cost of cleanup and lost goods again, the doors would have been froze to the ground, the amount of water's not cheap out here, would have just been huge. So if I was traveling and I could see that, we could prevent that, or I could call a neighbor or something like that. So we're just trying to be as preventative as possible, and for another couple $100 we can make that happen. So thankfully it wasn't my main line, it's this line right here. See that? This one froze, burst, and well, we still had the mops out. This was all just completely flooded, and unfortunately my septic took on a lot of water, and I'll show you what happened there. I don't know how many gallons that thing drank when it was flooding, but it was enough to pull the tank down with weight to basically, okay, this was all mounded because we knew it was going to settle a little, but this is from that tank just pulling itself into the earth. So I got to come back and fix all this. This basically runs right up along here, and then it's bored through the concrete in for the restroom. I'll eventually get put in someday. Guys are working the units back here. They got to be pretty heavy. I think they're about at the limit to the John Deere loader, I'll tell you that. It's looking good. Yeah, by running this outside, we don't have to look at all this on the inside. I sure like to see this on these units. You know, they're maxed out for efficiency, but what does that mean? I don't know, I guess, but oh yeah, they got her. Boy, this thing's just been quite the workhorse. Glad we picked it up. We traded we sold the 9N and then took those funds and put it down on this tractor. And it's older, but it's a 3038, so it's the 38 horse. I think it's got a Yanmar diesel in it, but been a good rig. We mow with it, we fertilize with it, we push rocks and dirt with it. We had forks on it for a long time. These forks But then shipping companies started denying me pallets because you can't, I mean, you know, compared to a forklift, they'd say, bring her down, you know, an inch. Well, you try to bring her down an inch on this. This is like 3 feet. Good luck. You know what I mean? So they started marking my property no forklift. So we had to go pick up a forklift, which I have, which also doesn't work. So that's great. So this here is the duct sock. Basically, this is gonna hang from the ceiling. You can see it's perforated and whatnot. And we ordered it in black to match the trusses and the fans and everything else up in the ceiling. But this is basically our distribution system. Quick, easy to hang, and less expensive. There's the outlet up there. And then here is the return. And this is where that fill tray is gonna go. See? Real nice, easy, handy. It just shoots straight out into that fella right there. That'll be nice. I don't have to climb into ladders or anything like that to take care of the filters. Speaking of filters, I gotta do something different with the table over here. So on this table, this is a draft table. So it's set up to where you pull a vacuum, or you hook a fan onto this, essentially, and it pulls all the dust and contaminants and everything else out and gets it out of the building. So we need to put a fan in here and then connect this at some point right here as well. And this is all that dust. Kind of hard to see, but it's in here. It doesn't take a lot of cutting to put a layer on. I need to get this done quickly, or this return is just going to get completely plugged immediately. Or I'm going to have this unit off when the table is running, because otherwise that's going to create the vacuum and everything is just going to go right into that unit. So I got to figure this out. There's some stuff at Tractor Supply I was looking at, and that Jungle website and stuff like that. Just a 12-inch exhaust fan with a flapper. And I want to do that down low. If I do it up high, I might be pulling some heat with it. Guy doesn't want to, you know, that ain't coming cheap. Don't want to do that. Good morning. It's about 7:15 in the morning. Back here checking on the unit. The Kovac team stayed late last night. The guys wanted to get this unit up and running. Doesn't have the duct socked in or anything like that, but they wanted to just get it going and see how it did heat-wise. Sounds great. It's nice and quiet. You guys can hear how loud those diesel heaters are. It's just, you gotta unplug them and then you record and then you plug them back in and back and forth. They still got a picture frame in, you know, the inlet and return and stuff like that, but it's looking really good. I'm nervous and excited to see what it feels like on the inside of the shop. We set it at, I think, 72 and just let her buck all night. Geez, these are ankle breakers, these rocks. I'm gonna go in and see what it feels like in there. Normally we go through about 10 to 12 gallons of diesel a day just to survive out here. Let's see what we got now. It's never felt it like this in here before. This is just with one unit running right now. Very cozy. It's definitely not 72 degrees, but you don't have to wear a jacket or nothing in here. Let's go see what the thermostat says. Running it like this right now. How do you run? Oh, they left it at 65. It's 59 in the shop, which, yep, goal achieved. And we've only got the one unit running. And obviously when the duct sock gets in underneath the fans and everything, I'm really excited to see how that's gonna go. I think that's where they're starting today. Feller's gonna start cutting in the other unit, and the other guys are gonna start hanging the sock. I've got to get the forklift fired up and figure out why that thing won't go into gear. We're gonna use it as a pallet and a human lift, allegedly. It's for product, and get them hanging that. One of these days, want to learn my lesson and just buy something new instead of needs work. Well, I got the Yale running, and it runs pretty good. It runs really good, actually. Problem is, it doesn't shift forward and reverse like it should. I got it in forward right now. Neutral, reverse. Forward. That's actually uncommon. Normally it takes 5,000 times doing that. Replace the shift switch, replace the shift control relay, transmission fluid is good. I think it's this 4-wire shift solenoid right here. There must be a piston or a shuttle, because I see pressure line coming out there and one coming out here, so that must be forward reverse. I don't think this is a 2-speed. So I think I'm gonna have to replace that part right there, and then, you know, then it only needs like tires and a tune-up and chains and hoses, and the forks are bent, and, you know, it's a lot of work. But I got it cheap, you know? Runs on LP. See? So I'm trying to get this in semi-functional condition so the guys can use it today to get the duct put in. But I don't know. I'll just have to show them how to rack the shifter around, I guess. Well, I'm working on that fork truck. These fellers already got that hole punched in, which I think, if we're looking at the other one, would put that return right here-ish, which is, you know, that's perfect. Bentley's working on his motorcycle today. Got some sort of issue going on with the brakes and the hub over here. It keeps locking up and they're running into each other, so we got to see what's going on there. Got a friend coming over, neighbor, needs some firewood to heat his house, so I've got some trees that I kept when we started thinning from the pasture here. And this one really leaned down this winter, and there's a couple other classic leaners. So I'm gonna let him cut those down for some firewood. The old Ford, after sitting for, I don't know, what did we say, 2 months, fired right up. Battery was even low on her, but fired off, purring like a kitten. It's got new exhaust on it now, new manifolds. Steering's been gone through. We replaced a bunch of bushings in here as well, but I'll let him use the truck as well, and he could just chop it up, throw it in here, take it to his place, keep his house warm. Second unit getting set down. Right. They slide pretty good?
I just don't want to move it, the pad.
Oh, yeah.
You still got
Little
some
more?
You got some room. I'll let you know when.
This one's been running, keeping us warm today. Bentley figured out his issue. This is what's left of the bearings and his wheel. And there's the race that's completely split in half. And basically what happened was when this bearing deleted itself, ooh, we might have to hone that. You can see here the hub, because the gap changed, the hub basically bored its way into the wheel. So we might be looking at a new wheel, buddy, and bearings. Yeah. And for $100, which is an extremely rare bike, that's great. So the duct socks are looking good, and right now he's, I don't know what you call it, picture framing, trimming out the air shooter inner, putting some juice around that, sealing that up all nice, get it plugged in, and then they went ahead and shortened these a little bit and straightened them up so they're right down the center, and also where they elbow, they're 90 degrees, I guess. They'll look like this when it's not running, kind of deflated, but when the fan kicks on, I'll show you in a minute, they poof up and look like regular ducting. But I like the black look up against the black fans and the black trusses. Looks pretty neat. Mike's over here installing a thermostat. We're getting the bird nests, something like that.
They're digicals.
Yeah, I can apparently I can run this from the cellular device, and it'll shoot down this wire still and go to the machine, and guy can manage his energy. It has a leaf mode on it, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I don't
good.
know what the leaf does. It lights up. Let you know.
That's probably that's the last thing?
Pretty much. We're sealing up a little bit outside and in between the raindrops, and then should be good to go.
Nice. Fire this thing up, get them both ripping.
Yes, sir.
Here's a good example. This one's shut down right now. You can see there's some slack in it here and there. And that one over there is just a ripping. See how it's like puffed up? Looks nice and straight. Really smart design, saves a ton of money, and it looks great because we didn't have to paint the galvanized or anything like that. We can add on to it. You could put T's, different ends, whatever, but this is just nice and easy. I think it's going to work great. Well, fellers and fellettes, we've got heat. They're both ripping in here. They've only been running for a few minutes. It's 65 degrees in here. It's about 42-ish outside. Got the fans slowly going. I could feel the warmth coming down. Man, this is going to be good. Now, what's this mean for you? Well, it means the days that are extremely cold or extremely hot, guys still going to be out here wrenching. It means more content for you guys. Big thanks to Kovac Mechanical for making all the trips up here. It looks just really, really great. They threw in these upgraded bird nest thermostat things so I can keep an eye on it when I'm out of town. Make sure no more pipes are bursting and stuff like that. But there we have it. Vice Grip Garage has heat and air conditioning. Thanks guys for watching. Appreciate it very much. We'll see you soon.